probably wondering, what the heck am I watching right now? Well, we've got an indicator on a number 5 Jacobs taper, and what that Jacobs taper is for, I'm sure you can figure out it's for a drill chuck, but it's a great big taper. This is what I used as a sample. I de-engineered this to cut the taper in the compound, and what that is a number 40 taper for the head, and then it used to be this piece on here, and I don't know what on earth kind of collet this was for. This nut isn't familiar to me. This setup isn't familiar to me, and what's really strange is the threads inside of this here. So if one of you knows what this is, or you can use it, or both, send me your address, message your address to me, and I will send it to you free. Okay, so a little back to the story here. So the reason I made this is I wanted to have the capability of a number 20 chuck like this, one of these 20N Jacobs chuck, and I lucked out and I bought a pair of them in an auction. Doug Jarman in South Carolina has a little auction site called Buy It or Bid It, and I bought from Doug a couple times, and always a pleasant transaction. The prices sometimes are reflective of what something is, and sometimes the prices are really reasonable. You don't get the crazy bidding like you do on the larger sites, but it's hit or miss what's on there. So anyway, you're probably wondering, well, are you doing this to brag? No, not really. I'm glad that's as close as it is. I mean, moving less than 1,000 total is not bad. I mean, that's pretty good considering I cut it in a compound on this lathe right here. But what's troubling is, let me see if I can get this. Okay, let's see if I can get this thing to sit here so you can see the needle. And we're going to turn the spindle and watch that needle swing around there. Where you're going, 13, almost a half thousandths, and that's pretty disappointing. So imagine my surprise when I took my freshly made arbor, National 40 arbor with the Jacobs 5 taper on it. I put it together and put it in the spindle and looked at it, and it was wobbling around like a drunk. So I took it off, turned it 90 degrees a couple of times, trying to retime it. Maybe, the taper had a little play in the male and a little in the female, and I thought, okay, maybe I can find a sweet spot where it'll level out and be minimum amount of run out. I don't expect it to be 0. It could be nice, but I don't expect it to be 0. So that's pretty bad, but almost as bad, if not as bad, this one. So I decided, I said, maybe that other chuck is like just bent or damaged or played out, whatever, right? Because it's an older design with the knurled ring, not these serrations. And I thought, well, it's, you know, it's possible. I bought it used. Who knows where it came from? That sort of thing. And I said, I'm going to check myself. So I went ahead, did what I'm doing right now. And let me see if I can get this shot so you can see it. Hopefully. See if I can get this in the right place so you can see. Alright, let's put this, and there's 0. Watch that needle. That's disappointing. This one is out 11 thousandths. It's not as bad as the other one, obviously, but it's bad enough. I guess I'm questioning whether or not it's the jaws inside the chuck where it clamps onto the drill or the tool. I'm hoping that's it. I guess the alternative would be to pad up the taper on the 40 adapter, the 40 holder, put a little meat on the outside of that taper, and then go down in here and recut this true to the jaws, because all that run out, I'm pretty sure, is in here. I mean, I'm going to take the plunge, I think, buy a set of jaws. I really don't want to, but that's kind of a problem. You can imagine that sort of run out on something like that, you know. The one with the Morse taper, the one that's in the chuck, or in the lathe, that's kind of not too bad because I plan to use that in the tailstock of the chuck, or the tailstock of the lathe. But the other one, because it's going to be live, that much run out is going to cause the tool to overcut. So I know usually in drilled holes it's not that big of a deal, but it's nice to have them accurate if you can, not have the drill walking around because it's not running on center. Of course, the larger diameters, there's actually quite a bit of give in there, but I don't care for it. So not sure what I'm going to do other than try changing the jaws and then check the run out. If that doesn't help it, then what I'll do is that holder, I'll build this up. I'll go ahead and put bronze. I'll go around this one time with some bronze wire, build this up. And the reason I'm going to build this up, it'll be difficult to reach down in that hole of the chuck and build it up. But what it'll do is it'll let me enlarge this, same angle, but just enlarge it. And it's kind of like fitting an oversized piston to a worn out cylinder. So if I do that to the male, the female I can cut slightly oversized to true it up because it's not a lot, it's 15. Theoretically would be 7.5 thousandths a side in a perfect world, but chances are what that is it's just off center. So I'm leaning toward maybe doing that if the jaw thing doesn't do something for it. But anyway, back, if somebody wants this, you're welcome to it. If someone knows what it is, I'd like to know myself. Even if you don't want it, tell me what it is, please. And I guess that's going to do it for this one. Going to try to get some more videos out as things go along. Stuff like this comes along, and you know, I've been threatening to do this for a while, and finally wanted to get it done, and decided I had some testing to go for today, some medical tests, nothing big, but I had to get it done. So I kind of shot the day out, and I said, well, I'm going to do this for a nice little fun project. I'm going to just go ahead and get it done and see how it comes out. And that's what happened. So, yeah, that's about it. I want to thank you all for subscribing, and thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the content. I don't know if it, hopefully you learned something. I'm learning too. And I guess that's going to do it for now. So, thanks for watching. Come on back.